We're going to take you back to Parliament, where we thought we should just give you this quick update, at least lay out the context for you. International Relations Minister Ronald Lamola said to address the media on a number of global issues today. Pretoria, of course, is also gearing up to take over the G20 presidency from next month. Watching those developments is SABC News reporter Khayelihle Khumalo, who joins us now from the capital. And of course, there is no telling what the minister is likely to say today, Khayelihle, but my goodness, we are spoiled for choice between what's taking place in Mozambique to what's just unfolded in the US.
Well, absolutely. I understand it's a plethora of issues, really, that the minister will address from the current situation in Mozambique, where we've seen the post-election violence, where South Africa as well has been very vocal in calling for calm, but also you've seen just the disruption at the Lamola border post between South Africa and Mozambique. So we've seen also the Border Management Authority being seized with that particular matter, collaborating, of course, with their counterpart from Mozambique, but also a lot of pressing issues as well. But also we do understand that the SADC Troika on security, defense and political cooperation, they will have a meeting in Zimbabwe where they will focus on all these pressing issues facing the SADC region, from the current situation in Mozambique, where we've seen violent protests and also the fatalities recorded as well in light of those disputed elections, but also a very interesting time as well, where we've seen those developments in Mauritius as well, where the ruling party has been removed essentially from power. So to all intents and purposes, it's really quite a number of issues that are expected to be addressed by Minister Lamola here.
Yeah, and I wonder to what extent there'll be any kind of discussion around South Africa's posture towards Russia. And I'm only asking this, of course, because remember that back and forth between the DA, a member of the Government of National Unity, after they responded to President Cyril Ramaphosa saying that Russia is a friend of South Africa. If the minister doesn't speak to that in his address, I'm sure there'll be questions from journalists to clarify the issue.
Well, absolutely, especially because we know that the foreign policy, it's a very important issue, especially for the Government of National Unity as well. So there has been a very strong emphasis to try and bring stability. But also I think there has been a lot of clarification, for example, being made that the executive and also the president has a final say when it comes to the foreign policy. But another very interesting issue here, Ayanda, will have to be around the developments in the US with those sweeping elections for President-elect Trump. So we know that South Africa, the US, is a very key partner, quite a number of outstanding issues from AGOA to myriad of other issues as well pertaining to security in the African continent, especially because you know that South Africa's foreign policy, there's always an emphasis around the peaceful resolution of conflict, but also we know that there's quite a lot of expectations as to what will the Trump presidency bring for the African continent. A lot of people are saying it's a very inward-looking presidency, but so what will happen, for example, for South Africa? You know that it's going to take over the G20 presidency in 2025, but obviously taking officially from the 1st of December. But during the course of 2025, a lot of activities really expected in terms of the global challenges, whether you're looking at climate change, you're looking at issues around digital economy, and many other issues as well, especially for South Africa, the whole issue around the inclusion of Africa when it comes to the financial architecture, those all important reforms. So it's going to be really interesting as to what will the minister say to all these developments.
Absolutely, and we're waiting with anticipation for the start of that briefing, which I believe will be around 11 o'clock. So until then, Khayelihle Khumalo, thanks very much indeed. Khayelihle's live to us there from Pretoria as we wait for that briefing to begin, as I mentioned, in just about 18 minutes' time. As soon as it starts, we'll bring that to you live.